feel like Mike Jordan. Give me the rock and I'm scoring. Hey, came from the bottom, that's foreign. I swear that I'm up for the sun in the morning. Yeah, they know that we ain't the same. 402, we rap the game. I told them this ain't a game.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Big League Chicago. I'm Rick, here with Jack, Eric, Jose, Johnny, the entire Star 6 Media family right here under one roof together again. Boys, how we doing?
I like the jersey, Tony. I like
We're
the jersey.
Good. We're good. Appreciate it.
Hi,
All
everybody.
right.
How we doing? What's up?
What's going on? We you know, it kind of feels like a victory Monday.
It does.
be that guy to
doesn't
say
it? I feel great.
Gotta be that
I feel
guy.
great.
All right, well, what do we have in store for you guys in this episode? We're going to start off with some Hawks talk. Let Jack talk about the surprising Blackhawks. Go into the Bears breakdown against the Dolphins, and then we're going to talk a little C-Red segment, talk about the Bulls and their kind of early struggles so far early in the season. Then we're going to end it off with 4 stars of the week. Jack, let's take it away with Hawks talk.
Yeah, it's been an exciting start to the season for this Blackhawks team, a team that was picked to finish second to dead last, have started, came out of the gates a little bit faulty, were able to win a few games, finally were able to get across the 500 mark until Saturday this week when they lost to Winnipeg in Winnipeg 4-0 to bring it back to the 500 mark. But 12 points out of the gate, sitting in fourth in that in the Central Division behind Dallas, Winnipeg, and Colorado. So tough teams in front of them, without a doubt. Dallas jumping out to a really hot start, going 8-3 with some hot goaltending. Winnipeg starting out as well hot, and then obviously the defending Cup champions, the Colorado Avalanche, who we saw unfortunately on opening night in Colorado to raise their banner as they beat the living shit out of the Blackhawks. But no, like you said, you're seeing this team play really hard, like we talked about last week for Luke Richardson. I was actually in the building on Thursday night versus the Kings. They were outshot significantly, but they won. And it was a hard-fought game. They were outshot, like I said, but staying in it, being able to fight, they were able to get the first goal of the game, kept it close before LA tied it up. Jason Dickinson with the goal, assisted by Caleb Jones and Roos. I don't know who Roos was. It's the first time I've actually seen him, so interesting to see that he was out there. And then JT, Johnny Tays, looking like the old captain of old.
Oh, yeah.
Getting the goal on a defensive turnover from LA that cost the Kings right in front of the net, and Tays was able to bury home the winner to send home the Chicago faithful happy. And then it was an exciting drive home from there. Unfortunately, that week, it was a 1-2 week in the sense of losing to the Islanders on home ice 3-1, not being able to really get anything going, not able to get enough scoring chances. Tays with the lone goal in that one. A guy, like I said, Tays revitalized, scoring 7 goals already on the year and playing some spirited hockey to start, and then losing on Saturday, most recently 4-0 to Winnipeg in a game where the Blackhawks lost their goaltender in Soderblom, but it allowed for actually the guy who got put on waivers today, David Wells, I think, to come in and face the third period after he was waived today. As looking at the chat, we've already got Sam asking the Hawks have to fall from grace at some point, right? They're just not enough talent. I'm trying for that draft lottery win. Sam, I'm on the same page with you. Rick's the optimistic Rick and Eric and all these guys. They want to see a successful run from this team. It's interesting. It's only 12 games into the season, so yes, the fall from grace will occur. I mean, you can't keep pace with Colorado or it seeming Winnipeg and then potentially Dallas. So I do think there are much better teams in this Western Conference, as Vegas does still have this team picked to finish pretty much in the latter half of the league. No expectations are set for this Hawks team. Are they playing themselves out of a lottery pick right now? A little bit. They need to lose some games. They need to kind of come back to earth. And I know that's a tough pill to kind of swallow if you want to land within the top three. Fratelli over in Michigan looks freaking nasty. He's now given Connor Bedard, who's supposedly supposed to be this year's number one pick, the guy who's kind of looking like the next McJesus potentially. But we'll hold those expectations until we see if he's able to produce like Connor McDavid. But that being said, Hawks are playing themselves a little bit out of that, but hopefully not. With a lot of picks in this upcoming draft, you would expect them to capitalize on some prospect success and just kind of rebuilding this throughout the way Kyle Davidson plans. All these guys brought in, all these guys producing are on 1-year deals. My tiny asshole continues to prove Andres Anthony as he continues to light up the score sheet and dazzle with the moves. Frustrating and noticeably frustrating is Patrick Kane as he has not been able to score to his liking to start this season. Do hope to see that kind of pick up and continue as you hope to value as much as you can over Kaner if and when that day arrives. But yeah, that's kind of the Hawks talk in the quick nutshell.
Quick nut. I like it. I was gonna ask. They lost 5 of 6, and kind of like what Sam was saying, like the fall from grace is at some point. I mean, is that now? I mean, they've surprised us in these first like 10, 12 games of the season, but to lose 5 of 6, I think this is just kind of the fall already, right? Like it was a nice little surprise, that 4-game win streak, but you lose your goaltender and you got to pick up some guy from waivers. Patrick Kane isn't scoring. You're getting a little bit from JT, and you got some really nice young talent, but I don't know, man. I am the optimist, and I would love nothing more than to have great hockey in Chicago because I've been watching them and they're very exciting, especially when you've got these guys who are just up and comers that want to play and that want to show that they belong on this team. I want to be the optimist, but I don't. The 4-game win streak was cool, but I think it's really just starting to level out now for the Hawks.
Exactly. In a week that you will see them playing the Kings in LA before heading over to the other side of Anaheim to play the Ducks, a game that should be winnable with the Ducks going 4-8 to start the season. Kings might be seeking some revenge after losing on Thursday, and then playing one of the season favorites in Carolina, and then Boston, and then the Marion Hossa retirement night of Pittsburgh on the 20th. 2 tough games. Exciting. Yes, I do think you will see the leveling off happen here pretty quickly. Look at this in a week, 2 weeks, and you'll see there are probably going to be a few games under 500 and just kind of continue from there. It's interesting enough. I mean, you got St. Louis who started 3-6 to start the year with 6 points. So they're kind of setting the pace for the shitty teams of the Central in this point. We'll see. Exciting news in the sense we will have a hockey podcast coming your way on Friday. Slot Shot podcast with a few guys. Yeah. Alex from 3 Up, 3 Down, a Boston fan in the name of Ross Matthews. Excited to introduce him to the Star 6 Media family. You know exactly what you're going to get with a masshole. So should be an exciting one. Should make for a fun podcast. Exciting to give that one to you guys. Unfortunately, I do have to run, so I'm going to bid you guys a farewell. But we'll be putting the podcast on Twitch on the way to hockey. So love you guys. Have a good podcast.
Fields looks Jack.
Thank you, Jack. You say
adios, my good friend.
All right. So that was Hawks talk. They're looking okay. They're looking all right, but it looks like they're about to level out. I don't know if you guys had anything else left for Hawks talk.
No, I think I agree. The fall off was coming. We had our magic. Mm-hmm. I know I was playing them to cover because it was rare that they were actually favored to win, but that plus 1.5 was hitting a lot.
Oh yeah.
Either way, it's fun to watch them. I know my brothers, Jackie or Rick. You don't know this. Rick and Jack don't know this, but my dad lives in Iowa, and I have brothers that live over there. So they were talking about coming to Chicago and we checking out a Hawks game. So even if we suck, still going to go check them out. Those games are exciting to go to. Man, I know Jack pointed out that hopefully Kaner gets back to scoring, but it's kind of like I wouldn't mind his trade value staying low. I personally don't want to see Taves and Kaner go. I mean, they're at that age where just let them go ahead and focus on winning another ship, but it's a little bit bittersweet if you get rid of those two guys, you know?
I was thinking the same thing too. I was like, I know that Kane is still a very effective player, you know, in this league, and he can do a lot. But his slow start is kind of like, hey, like you said, you know, his trade value is going down. Maybe he retires a Hawk. I'd love to see that, but I think all signs are pointing to Buffalo for him, or at least a contender in New York, maybe. You know, so I don't know, but I would love to see him retire a Hawk.
All I'm saying is if the Hawks do trade them, it better be a contender. Don't disrespect them like that.
100%.
Both of them.
100%. All right, let's move on to Bears breakdown. What a fucking game against the Dolphins. If you caught any of the Instagram stories from me, you saw how pissed the fuck off I was at the end on the no call on Chase Claypool with 2 minutes left, the game-winning drive. It was I was literally like I was standing in my office right here watching this game, and I'm like, how are you not calling this? How are you not calling both arms around this guy's waist before the ball was even 5 yards within this guy? So that's what happened. The Bears lose 35-32, but dude, Justin Fields is the guy. He is him. He
QB1.
Yeah. I don't know. I love it. What do you, Jose? What do you got to say about the Bears right now?
Man, as I mentioned to you guys in the chat and the text, it's great to finally feel confident in your Bears quarterback.
Yep.
It's great to finally say we have a quarterback. You know what I mean? And look, we gave this guy, and I feel for good reason, a lot of slack in the beginning of the season because he was consistently inconsistent, as was this offense, right? And he started to pull some good games together, but I wanted consistency. I wanted to see if he could continue to do it. And finally, I feel like we're at that point where okay, we can say this guy is legit. You know what I mean? And what further that into my thoughts was the fact that we got Chase Claypool. Not that Chase Claypool is a world beater, but it's that once this front office is able to put pieces around Justin Fields and cater the offense to him, then we can really start to see this guy shine. And we did that yesterday because man, this guy looks scary.
And a lot of people too, like a lot of the things you hear is like he only completed 17 passes for 123 yards. Clearly those people didn't watch the game because he broke the quarterback rushing record in the regular season for 178 yards, scored a touchdown for a 61-yard run, and threw two of them to Cole Kmet, which thank God he is like coming back into this offense is like a legitimate threat, kind of like what I forget Jimmy Graham was for us the last couple of years in the red zone.
No, absolutely, man. It's kind of funny, Jose, to hear you say that because just a couple weeks ago we were talking about are they going to draft another quarterback? What's going to happen? We literally had this discussion, but I mean, personally, I'm a little hurt for the 123 passing yards because I bet 124 and a half.
No.
The rushing yards hit. I had him at 80.
That's rough.
Yeah. But it's okay because I also had Claypool for a TD, which man, I'm happy to see that they're targeting him a lot, even though he only had a couple days with the team, you know, for practicing. I'm very excited to see that Claypool connection. Mooney showed up, you know, looking like a nice wide receiver too. Kmet, you know, you hit it dead on the spot because the yards were low for Kmet, but he had those two touchdown passes. And then we were literally, that's another guy who we were talking about, like, damn, we're gonna have to draft another tight end, look somewhere else because you know they haven't been using them. But overall, it was amazing, you know, to watch. But we knew Fields had the talent. You know, the day of the draft, we said we would take him over Mac Jones, easily. Because I know, and then every time Fields does bad, that's who he gets compared to.
Yep.
But it's just it goes to show, if they just listen to us Bears fans and find offensive coordinator that caters to your quarterback's strengths, you can do something. I mean, we've been crying for that for years, man. And it's like here we finally have it. It's exciting. Like, you obviously drafted Fields because what he can do with his legs. Okay, so make him beat you with his legs. He's gonna be like, I mean, pretty much the only other guy to compare him to is like Lamar Jackson, right now. But think about it. You need to have the run game with a quarterback like that. He needs to be your RB1. And here it is. They're finally listening. They're finally listening,
and they're finally like giving him designed runs. Obviously, the RPO was one thing last year under Nagy where we were just clamoring for it, like you said, John. Right? Like, we want more RPO. We want more design runs because he can just bust out these runs, which I think almost every single third down was like made a first down because of him. It was converted because of him and his legs. If not a good pass to Chase, Claypool, or Pettis, or whoever it was that was receiving. So, Eric, the future is bright. I love it. I love the sign behind you. Are you? Oh, yeah. And you're decked out in Bears gear, so I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, man, the future is bright. We were chirping about it. Like we said, consistency is key. That we wanted it, and we actually finally got it. It took a mini bye week from the Thursday night game to the Patriots game, and it's just been a continued success. Now, granted, they are 1-2 at that time. That's fine. But there's something about this. For the first time ever, I think us being Bears fans, we could finally say that the Bears were in a competitive shootout. Yeah. You never get to hear that. Yep. Those words, that sentence never even existed in our language.
Right.
We're not going to disrespect Jay Cutty like that. He's a gunslinger.
Jay Cutler,
man. Look,
I get it. Hey, this was more of like I'm watching, track versus a shootout. Okay, Fields damn near ran up and down the field 80 yards.
That's fine.
In the end zone.
Look, that's
points.
I get it, but it was still 32 points. When have we ever seen Jay Cutler Bears team lose or win a game from like 38 to 35? When have we ever seen?
I'm gonna have to double check that Arizona game, that comeback. Arizona Monday night.
There's gonna be a couple, but not as consistent as these last 3 games that the Bears have been able to do. I think that's what Eric's trying to say.
Exactly.
I'm just answering the guy's question, man.
We just haven't seen it consistently. Now look, it sucks. I feel like the refs were in there. They had money in this game because how the hell are you going to give Eddie Jackson a pass interference call when he's literally turned around looking like this at the ball?
Playing the ball.
Jalen Waddle jumps over him to get the ball. Like, he doesn't get it. And yet Chase Claypool gets manhandled by 2 people that didn't even play for the ball at all.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, it was one of those, like, okay, it's 2 years in a row that the Bears get screwed over by the refs. Remember last year against Pittsburgh is one of them on a Monday Night Football game. And it's just one of those situations where it's just like, everybody was talking about. Now, since this was at 12 o'clock on a Sunday, where like all the other games, it's not getting that much notice, but it's still noticeable for everybody else because like 2 things happen. He said, I love taking. Yep, exactly. Hey, look, mine's are better though. Okay. My little quotes are better.
They are.
All right. And as when we go into the comment sections here, Sam goes, thought Cole Kmet was a bust, but studying him this season, he shows a lot of great run blocker. He's a good route runner, and now he catches red zone touchdowns and are coming. Kmet and Fields are going to be a scary red zone duo for years, and I've been saying that. Granted, these 2 guys get on me saying that Cole Kmet this and that, no touchdown, so yada yada yada. But I've always said he does the other little things that it's not shown on the stat sheet.
Yeah,
and I've been saying this. I've been saying this for a while too. Kyle says, don't forget about Kyler. Kyler is also kind of like that Lamar Jackson runner first, throwing person. And then it says. And then John goes, oh, yeah, true. But, whatever. Yeah, bad weapons over there, so on and so forth. From John.
You You can't read half a sentence after you just read a paragraph?
It's for the fans, homie. We hear you on here. We see your face. You know, we could say it
Then
here.
why bring up my comment if you're not going to
You know what?
read it,
I'm just going by the comments. I didn't really see the name. I was just clicking on it.
You
so
know,
that's the only
Jose
reason
tells us
why
all the
Jonathan
time,
Blau-
specifically you, reading is fundamental.
Yeah, okay, I know, but you know, I'm doing two things at once. All right, leave me alone here. No, but honestly, this is one of the situations where I wish the Bears would have won this game. You know, this is the game where, you know, yes, we could feel excited about the Bears being in a shootout, you know, going toe to toe against the number one offense in the league, yada yada this, yada yada that. But at the end of the day, it's like a result like this, even the Dallas game, whatever. But this game in general, or this game in particular, that this is a game that the Bears needed that W to get that feeling that, hey, we could compete against these guys, the number one offense. We could compete with them just like we would possibly compete with any other team in the league. And guess what? We could get a W out of it. Now, this is 2 weeks in a row, 2 weeks in a row where the Bears offense looks good, but they come out with L's.
Yep.
The narrative needs to change, and I get it. It's a season where a lot of people are considering it as a lost season, but this is what they wanted. But at least every here and there that the Bears need to pull out some W's, you know, during these shootouts, and it needs to happen,
and
at least once or twice this year.
And this is something that I was actually telling Kyle earlier on our Only Football live stream. What I don't want the Bears to do is, like, we have this very competitive team. They put up 30 points per game the last 3 games. Like, this is awesome, right? Like, again, something we haven't seen in a really long time. What I don't want them to become is the Detroit Lions of this year and last year, where they're like, wow, they're a tough out. They're putting up a lot of points, but they get the L's. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to end up with a 4-13 record, you know, something like that at the end of the year. But hey, we could have won our half the losses that we had, right? Like, that's what I don't want them to turn into. And I think obviously what you saw against Tua and Tyreek Hill and Waddle was that our defense is just not there anymore. And you know, I don't think really this whole season it has been there. It has kept them in games for sure. But you know, and Eric's going to love this, but losing Roquan, yeah, it's going to hurt for sure. But when you look at, you know, ahead to the offseason, you got so much money, you got so many draft picks. It's just going to get better from here. I just think, like, as long as we can improve our defense too, and don't get me wrong, we have a lot of good playmakers, rookies even on defense right now. It's tough to beat Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill made being a wide receiver looks so easy against the Bears on Sunday.
I'm not going to lie. And previous podcasts that people have been watching us before we joined together, I've been saying I'm not a big believer in Tua. And finally seeing it up close and personal, this experience is not going to work very long, guys. His arm strength is not all that great. Yeah, he may have those little dinks and dunks right here and there in 10, 15 yards. But anything past that, he underthrew Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle so many times. He's not a deep ball threat person.
Nope.
So eventually teams are going to catch on to that. And eventually this is not going to work. So maybe this year, this will be the only anomaly that the Miami Dolphins will be.
I don't know about that because the talent around him is definitely helping him in a lot of different ways.
Yes.
And you even seen it here with the Bears, right? Like Chase Claypool on the stat sheet doesn't seem like he did a lot, but his presence was so key, which is why Darnell Mooney had that touchdown, which is why Cole Kmet was open and was able to make plays, because they finally had, I don't want to say a legit wide receiver, but a threat in that passing game that allowed others to shine. And when it comes to Miami, because you have Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill's going to get his, and because you have Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle's going to get his. So Tua, although I agree with Eric, doesn't really have the arm strength, but he does have 2 speedster wide receivers. All he has to do is throw it up there. One of them's going to catch it, and they'll make him look good. So
exactly. And let's continue a little bit here on the comment section too as well. Sam said he's okay with the Bears losing for the rest of the season as long as it means Justin Fields is improving and looking like a star. Get draft capital. Carbs, what up, Carbs, buddy? Good seeing you, man. He said the block put for Miami hurt us. Touchdown hurt us too. Apart from the no call on Claypool and the missed catch from St. Brown, which is another key factor too as well, because that would have been a first down too. And then Kyle goes, find one deep ball this season that Tua hasn't underthrown. I'll give you 2 in this game, the one that was pass interference on Eddie Jackson that wasn't pass interference, and the one that Tyreek Hill bailed him out. Now it was underthrown, and Tyreek Hill had to come back to get that ball again.
Yeah.
Like Jose said, credit to
Yep.
him that the skill position players bailed him out there. But those are two key components, I guess, 2 plays that I could give you right now at the very moment that Tua underthrew those balls. And
Yep.
and trust me when I tell you guys, like, this is not going to work next year for sure. And it is what it is.
That St. Brown like drop, it just goes to show that like the talent is not around Fields right now. Like between him and Pettis and Byron Pringle, who we've seen maybe like 3 games this year.
If that.
Yeah, if that, you know, when Ryan Poles went and got out Chase Claypool, it's like, okay, finally, right? Like finally we got somebody. Thank God. We got somebody who is a big-bodied guy and can actually is like a 50-50 ball guy too, who can get up there and get it. So it just goes to show that, like, kind of how like Sam said, get that draft capital, get those receivers, sign a receiver, sign those defensive ends, or draft those defensive ends, those rushers, right? Like this needs to happen. But I can't be too mad with this loss. I will be mad with the fact that the refs didn't give it to him at the end there to continue the game. And I said it in my reel on Instagram. It was rigged. It was fucking rigged. I don't care who you are. It was rigged. Like John talks about all these bets. If he was a ref, he wouldn't have called it either, because he's like, nah, bro, I got this game. I got the Dolphins winning this game. Sorry. So I don't know. It's just, again, and then the defense obviously too was lacking. But yeah, I don't know. Like you see how Tua underthrows these balls, but when he's got when he's got Tyreek and Jalen Waddle, they just make it work. And that's what Fields needs. Yeah.
All right, guys. I have a quick question before we move on, right? And I'm gonna give you a quick, I guess, like a little bet, right? I'm gonna give you guys over and under 3.5 wins for the Bears to get for the remainder of the season. We got the Lions twice, which we have them next. We got the Falcons, the Jets, the Packers, the Eagles, the Bills, and then the Vikings at the last game of the season. Over and under 3.5 wins for the Bears for the remainder of the season.
Under. We'll be at 3.
Ooh,
Jose.
that's a good one.
Oh, I want to say, I think I'm right there with John. I think 3 more wins for sure. I'll give them a 4th, but the 3rd win, the 4th is going to be an upset if anything. But I give them the 3 wins. I think they could probably beat the Lions twice.
Mm-hmm.
I think they can beat the Packers the way the Packers are looking right now. It's the Falcons games that's kind of iffy for me.
Yeah,
I think they can beat the Falcons, but the Falcons are like the Bears where they're scoring.
I'm gonna say,
so it's gonna be tough, but I'm gonna say under 3.
Oof.
Right.
Because I like Jose said, I think they can beat the Lions twice and beat the Packers. So that's 3 already for me.
Yeah.
The Falcons, I don't think they're going to beat them. I just don't. And the Jets, they have to beat them because my wife is trolling me as a Jets fan this season.
She's a Jets fan? You married a Jets fan? How'd that happen?
No, that's the thing. She's not from New York or anything. She's just trolling me this year.
Hey, my girl's a Bills fan, so I know how it feels. But shout out to the Jets.
See,
because of the Jets, because of this, I have a chance to win some more money tonight.
Bro, you're a Chargers fan, dude. Shut up. And you
shout out to the Jets. Shout out to the Jets. I picked the Jets over the Bills. I put 13 points on them, and it hit.
You accidentally picked them.
It wasn't accidental.
Let's be honest.
My subconscious knew something I didn't, John. That's what matters.
I got received,
but I think
he said he accidentally picked them.
I think though with the Jets, their defense is good. Sauce Gardner is a bona fide star at corner.
Facts.
But I think they can get the win against the Jets. They're going to lose against the Falcons. They're going to lose against the Eagles and the Bills. The Vikings, depending on how much of a lead they have in the North,
man.
They might just
Kirk
sub
Cousins
out
last night with the chains, boy. I don't know.
Yeah,
Kirk Thuggins, baby.
How Kirkman acting?
Kirk Thuggins.
Okay, let me give y'all real quick. I don't think we beat the Lions both games. We'll win one. I do think we beat Atlanta, and then my 3rd and final win of the season is upset against the Eagles.
You did mention that one, and in the group chat that we had, we kind of looked at you like crazy. I got your back though. I'm the only one that got your back. I actually do see
Finally,
that too
about time.
as well. I always got your back. You just don't have faith in me. That's all.
That's week 15, and the Eagles in a
Well-
tough NFC East will. I don't know if they'll still be undefeated, but I can see them beat the Vikings with the Vikings sitting most of their starters in week 18.
Yeah, those are vulnerable too. Don't sleep on maybe them beating the Bills. The Bills show
That's
that they
right.
can be beaten.
Nah,
They've been
that's
beaten
cap.
already.
That's right.
They've shown it.
Well, Josh Allen might be hurt. He just
Right.
announced it this morning.
Right, exactly.
But no. Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
So the remaining schedule for the opponents for the Bears is 29-20. As I'm looking at it right now, as I'm typing it, the Bears still have the 5th toughest schedule of the remaining opponent's schedule left into the season, and that includes, again, winning records from the Eagles, from the Jets, from the Jets, from the Bills, obviously, from the Vikings, and everybody else is all under 500. And luckily, two out of those teams, and the Falcons are also under 500. I almost forgot about them. And then those two teams that they still face the Lions twice, and then they still got the Packers again. This is where it kind of like it gives me hopes, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm with John. The Eagles can be the upset, especially if they're undefeated still around that time, right? Do I want to lean on that route? Of course, it's the Bears. What the fuck? Of course I'm going to do it, right?
Of course, 100%.
Right. But it's, again, like I said, it's the Falcons. I don't fully believe in the Jets. Look, they beat the Bills, hoorah! But let me remind everybody out there that the toughest games in your schedule will be the teams that you face in your own division. The Jets will play the teams, the Dolphins, the Bills, and the Patriots tough because they face them twice a year.
Yep.
Same as the Lions, same as the Packers, same as the Vikings with the Bears. The Falcons, it's on the road. So that's where you kind of lean a little bit more towards the Falcons. But you can kind of see the Falcons kind of at the end of the games, they either A, die down, or B, come back into the game. So it depends on the situation on where the Bears are going to be in that position against the Falcons. I can easily see 4 wins for the Bears, with the 5th one as a question mark against the Eagles. But definitely 4 for me for the Bears winning on the remaining schedule over the 3.5.
Yeah, I would agree with 4. I think I'm going with the over for sure, 3.5. I can't.
Is this your girl right here, Rick? just
yep, that's her. There she is, dude. I told her. So this is a bet we have. I said when it comes to the Bears versus the Jets, if the Jets beat the Bears, she gets to pick my fantasy lineup for the next week. So I'm hoping the Bears can get a dub here because I do not need that stress.
Rick, I would honestly rather bet my whole paycheck on dinner than let my girl pick.
Well, see, I don't know. I think I would do that with my girl because she probably pick a lineup that's good for me.
She could pick a better lineup than you, but in the case of her actually winning a bet, then she'll self-sabotage your lineup.
No, shit. Well, it
I mean,
depends.
we don't have to worry. We don't have to worry about
week.
Jose.
We're facing each other this
in
week.
your league, John.
Yeah,
this year, this is just one of those. It really doesn't matter.
This year, this is Paulina's league.
Yeah, dude.
It really is.
She's in 3rd place. I'm like second to last, but I'm hurt. My team's garbage right now.
Yeah. As we continue on the Facebook comments, CP, what up, CP? Are the Jets fans real?
No, they're all like my wife. They're all trolling everybody else.
Damn.
Mike Greenberg, Mike Greenberg from ESPN, he's a legit Jets fan. Who else is a Jets fan from?
He came out of hiding.
It's one of those rare fews. Like I feel like Jets fans are like Mets fans because they just hate the Yankees. They just become Mets fans. And the same thing with the Giants. They become Jets fans simply because it's like the cool thing to do in New York because there's a lot of things to do.
Man, there used to be a lot of Mets fans back when they had David Wright, Jose Reyes. And then they all kind of just died out and disappeared.
Yeah.
Then they would only show up for the Subway Series just because, like Eric said, they hate the Yankees.
Exactly. There's your boy CP, John, upsetting the Eagles, question mark.
No.
And then he says, they better beat Green Bay when they come to Chicago. Rodgers can't keep coming here talking crazy.
Exactly.
And that's true. And I think this is probably like the only legitimate shot that the Bears and like what's the phrase? The
tides are turning, Eric. The tides are turning.
There you go. The turning of the tides for sure.
We finally have a better team than the Packers.
I think this is something that you just don't put out there, John. Talking about you used to own a Mark Sanchez Jets
Mark
jersey.
Mark Sanchez was magic, bro. Back to
fumble
back
over
AFC championship games. Come on now.
I will say, Mark
Sanchez
Sanchez on the
with
Jets.
Rex Ryan.
Yeah, like that for some reason
Magic.
that worked. That worked.
That
I don't
worked,
get it,
bro.
I don't get it.
Yeah, CP says Atlanta will always find a way to give it up, which is true. Johnny P goes, remember when Tony
Still love
was a
Joe
Burrow
Burrow.
fan?
Still love Joe Burrow. Still love Joe Burrow. And the Bengals did their thing the other day. So
Nah.
Yeah,
They'll-
don't
CP
make
coming at you, Jose,
Don't
saying
mix it.
she'll pick a better lineup than you, Jose.
Oh,
And then,
yeah,
he'll find out
definitely.
saying that'll be more
Definitely.
demoralizing if he comes here and win again while he's been terrible against everybody else. And that's for sure. And that's the one thing that we're just waiting on literally in December. This is the worst we've ever seen the Green Bay Packers outside of the
Mhm.
2018 year, but like legitimately like the worst they've ever been. The Bears and the Packers have the same identical record. And that's the crazy part about this,
Yeah.
guys, is the fact of the matter is that the Packers finally are playing like crap with their MVP caliber Super Bowl winning quarterback
Yep.
on this roster,
Yeah.
and the Bears can't find the transition to bring it on over. No, again, it's the turning of the tides. Hopefully, what Jose said, the Bears are looking great. I think Justin Fields Justin Fields and the Bears playing this well these last 3 weeks, I think gives them an opportunity to like, okay, maybe it was just one setback. And like I said, they play against the Lions. You've seen what the Lions did to Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers yesterday.
Yep.
It may happen again this week too as well, simply because again, you play them twice. They know you. They know how you play. And this, I know it's a new team, new offensive scheme, all of that, but they know how the Bears are going to come in. And if it's the first game, if it's going to be a shootout, I best believe that the second game here in Chicago won't be that way.
And that game against the Lions was, in my opinion, the Lions have a worse defense than the Bears. And that defense on the Lions held them to what, 9 points? Like that's just
9
insane
points.
to me. So if they, when they, I forget, are we going to Green Bay or are they coming to us? Oh
No,
yeah,
they're
they're
coming
coming
here.
to Soldier.
They're coming
Yeah,
in.
they're
I
coming to
don't know
Soldier
about that, Rick. I don't know if the Lions have a worse defense than we do now. I mean, you have Aiden Hutchinson, you have some players over there.
Yeah.
We don't have some stars like they do. We might have just got worse trading away Quinn and Smith. Which, by the way, Smith looks great tonight.
No, 100%.
100%. I agree with that. We did get worse, but I will say that I think Justin Jones showed out yesterday in that game. We still have Jalen Johnson. We still have Eddie Jackson playing a lot better. Jaquan Brisker is playing really well as a rookie. Kyler Gordon is playing like a rookie should. I think he's getting beat. They're throwing to him a lot, but I think he's on his way up, right? But I still think like even though like our linebacking core, it's still pretty decent, and you can look at Detroit and talk about I'm sorry, their edge. You just said his name. I forget his name. But I think overall, as a unit, we probably have a better defense. And to Eric's point, are the Packers going to play us, really tough? Absolutely. I don't think there's going to be a cakewalk, because even that game against the Lions wasn't really a cakewalk either for them, right? But I think it'll be in the Bears' favor this time, just because of all this positive experience that Justin Fields is getting in the offense. Oh my God.
I agree 100%. And I'm trying to look up the stats right now between these two teams that are going to play on Sunday. But just know that both defense are ranked in the bottom 5.
Oh,
so
yeah.
So just know that this game, the offensive it's which offense is going to prevail on here. Now, the Lions has the better overall talent, but it hasn't been the same Lions that started off firing high, being the number 1 offensive scoring team for the last 4 weeks already. Bears are, on the other hand, it's the complete opposite. The Bears have been the hottest team offensively, or one of the hottest teams offensively in the last 3 weeks. So it comes down to what offense shows up. And I think this is going to be an interesting game for sure, because it goes to show that how these teams that we had different perspective. Jose was all high and mighty on the Lions simply because of Hard Knocks and this and that and this, that, and the third, and they started off that way.
Same.
But you can see as the season goes on, it's the same damn Detroit Lions,
Crazy.
and it's going to be an interesting game on Sunday.
The injuries have stopped them along the way as well, though. When you had DeAndre Swift has been out for a while and then comes back, and then Amon-Ra St. Brown, same thing. It's been pretty tough with them when it comes to health, but yeah, no, I agree with you 100%. The season in mid-season to the end season will basically show you who the teams are, and I like the fact that the Bears are at least going down what it seems the right path offensively, because in this kind of league, that's what you got to do, and I'm happy for it. I really am.
Yeah, no, 100% agree with all of that. And I just want to show this comment by CP. My uncle yelled at me to start Fields over Josh Allen in my fantasy league yesterday, so I did. I'm listening to him now, even when he's drunk. Dude, I didn't do that. I should have listened to your uncle because Fields had 42 points and Josh Allen got me like 17, throwing 2 picks. And I'm just like, God damn it. Like I wasn't expecting a game like this from Fields, which, he broke the record and whatnot. But man, I was like 42 points right there. And I'm going to lose this week. 100% I'm going to lose this week.
Let him know, CP. Let him know.
Just to let you guys know that Justin Fields in one of my leagues gave me 45 points, and I still ended up losing because everybody else was trash. Dalvin Cook was trash. David Montgomery didn't do anything.
Yeah, true.
And that was the only reason why.
I've officially given up on the David Montgomery hype train. He's been
like that.
Yeah.
You like that.
Mm-hmm. And he said, "What is it? Jose still deserves credit for his Vikings pick winning the North. We got him.
You like that? Tell him, CP.
Hey, he's still not going to win that bet though. He has the Chargers winning, so
Yeah,
ooh, that's a rough one.
And then he says, I think they'll beat the Lions. And then CP says he'll beat the Bears will beat the Lions. The bad Lions have been awful. Is awful against the run. So I guess it looks like I'm starting Khalil Herbert and David Montgomery. Then if we're going off with CP's logic here,
I'm definitely starting Justin Fields in that game. 100%. I don't give a shit about Josh Allen anymore. Justin Fields all the way from here on out, I think.
Unless your girl says no.
Yeah, unless the Jets beat them, then I'll be like, fuck me.
So I found the defensive stats, guys.
Let's
You're
go.
right. CP says the Lions are ranked 26th in rushing, while the Bears are dead last in passing yards. The Bears are ranked 19th. The Lions are ranked 27th. So,
lucky for the Lions, Fields only throws 123 yards.
But not only that, Eric, that's all season up until today. Remember, you had better players throughout the season, so that I think those stats are a bit padded. I would like to see what they are without Smith, without Quinn. That's right, baby, padded.
Yeah,
but without Smith and Quinn for sure.
I love it. I love that.
Start Fields without a question, guys. That's the QB1 for the rest of the year in fantasy.
Honestly, I think so. Either that or I'm going to sell high on him before the trade deadline. So one of those two things is going to happen for me.
Do it.
There's a trade deadline? Damn.
Yeah.
Oh, do you guys not do that?
Week. Yeah, we do.
There's one league that we don't have no trade deadline. We just continue up until
that's fucking awesome.
even in the final game.
No.
I love that. That's awesome. How are we feeling about Eberflus and Getsy? Well, I'll ask 3 of them: Eberflus, Getsy, and Alan Williams at defensive coordinator. How are you feeling about that?
I think as far as Alan Williams go, you do what you got. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got to do it what you got, and it seems like the Bears chose a side and they want to focus on the offense.
Mm-hmm.
So that's great. Let's do that. As far as Getsy and Eberflus goes, thank you. It seems like you guys got the message, you got the memo, you got the point. You have a quarterback with certain capabilities and with certain abilities. Mm-hmm. You are now catering to his strengths, and you're seeing the fruits of your labor. Continue to do it. This guy is special. He's showing you that he's special. You just got to cater to what he's able to do best. Those RPOs, those run plays. Again, you're giving him more presence in that depth as far as wide receivers and pass catchers. Great. Continue to do so. Now focus on the offensive line whenever you can. But credit to them because you're seeing the changes that they made definitely coming into fruition in a positive way.
John, what do you think?
I've been saying it. I'm going to keep saying it. Trust the rebuild. That's all we got to do. These guys ain't going nowhere, especially Eberflus. He ain't going nowhere as far as next year. Not even the year after that. This is a rebuild until the Bears fucking move to Arlington. But like Jose said, you got to work what you got. they traded away all our key defensive players. Think of all the names that were here last year and the year before that when our defense was at least considered elite or in the league conversation. We lost everybody, but we finally go out and get a weapon. And like we spoke earlier, without Claypool, Komet wouldn't have the success he had. Without Claypool, this game wouldn't have even been that close. The stats may not show it, but Claypool was out there. His presence alone, he was targeted a lot, whether we got the flag or not. But man, it's just do what you got to do to get Fields improving and the offense improving, and then come in the off season to use those picks and all that cap space you got. But you got to trust the rebuild even next year. Next year with all the moves you make, hopefully they're the right moves. It's still another rebuild. You can't expect us to come out the gate and win division, go to the NFC championship. Maybe a wild card at best if we make all the right moves, but we're in this for the long haul,
Yeah. No, and I don't know if it's just me, but like the last offensive-minded coaches we have just sucked under. Nagy, John Fox, or not John Fox, Trestman. But the defensive guys from like obviously the Lovey era was like amazing, right? John Fox, it was meh, very meh. And now Eberflus, like there's something about it that I feel like it just makes us better with a defensive head coach.
John Fox did put the pieces in place for our defense to become elite under Matt
That's
Nagy.
Right. That is right. You're right.
What? John Fox is equivalent to Rick Renteria for the Cubs.
Yeah, I could.
Yeah, that's a good one. I'll give you that one,
David Swayam for the Cubs. Right before Joe Madden came in, you know what I mean?
That's a good one too. That's a good one too. David Swayam. I forgot about David Swayam.
Right.
Oh my God.
Swayam, yeah. I completely forgot about him.
A long time ago, we just heard that guy.
And yeah, with Alan Williams, like you guys said, like he's doing what he can with what he's got. Obviously, like it really does take the talent on the field to make the differences, but I think it's just suffering a lot because they've given up so many points over the last 3 weeks. Almost 50 to the Cowboys, 35 to the Dolphins. But again, it's just the talent isn't there. Once they actually get the talent, I think Alan Williams as a defensive coordinator should plan a better game. But I love what Getsy's doing, like Jose, like you said, finally waking up, realizing what you have in Fields, using that ability, and Eberflus is just like, yeah, man, do your fucking thing. I'm the head coach. You worry about the offense is what it seems like.
Yeah.
But yeah, Eric, what do you got any thoughts on the coaches?
Yeah, real quick. Let me just go back on the comment sections real quick. Just to, give a quick shout out CP and very vigorously on the section on the comments, just like he always is. He says he's impressed with Getsy. He's finally waking up when it comes to Fields. He's with John. Trust the process. Part 2. I was gonna get at John real quick, talking about you can't make it from one team to the playoffs or whatever he said, or NFC Championship game. But then he kind of helped himself at the very end, talking about going from worst to first. So good catching on your error right there, John. And he says CP says John Fox was so vanilla, which is true. Guys, CP. Just like CP, you can always join us on the chat too as well. The link is also right here on the comment section. You guys can just hit that link, show us your face, don't show us your face. Just give us what you guys think about the Chicago Bears and all the Chicago sports is what we're happening. We're talking about here on Big League Chicago, brought to you by Star 6 Media. As for me, again, this year alone, I think we kind of needed to take a step back from the defense and just worry about Justin Fields, just to see if he was actually up for it, if he's going to be your quarterback for the future. It didn't start off well, and then, like I said, that mini bye week, something happened. They all got together. They all had like a very mini evaluation for the first 4 games of the season, and now they just turned it around. Luke Getsy is doing an amazing job with Justin Fields, and they can only get better from here. Give him weapons, give him a decent O-line, I guess you can say, that left side. Now, look, let's give credit where credit's due. They only gave up 1 sack yesterday, okay? 1 sack was given up. Yes, they given up, 50,562 sacks in the first 7 games of the season. But yesterday, they only gave up 1 sack with the newly acquired Bradley Chubb on that offense, on the defensive line too as well. So give credit where credit is due. Now, do they still need help? Hell yeah, they still need help, though. I'm not going to lie, because that pocket collapse is very, very quick on Justin Fields. All his run plays, let's be honest, they're all improvised. right? That 61-yard touchdown play, he wanted to throw. It was improvised.
Yeah.
There was nobody wide open. They still need players on both sides of the ball. You guys are right. You guys hit everything on Alan Williams. It doesn't really matter. You could tell he has no talent. He has very little talent. But the secondary looks like it's going to be very, very good. They're all rookies. Guys, just remember, Kyle Gordon and Jaquan Brisker are all rookies, so they're going to get eaten up by Jalen Waddle, by Tyreek Hill, and all these other number one wide receivers coming out in every single team, okay? That's given. They're only going to get better from here on out. It's everything else from the defensive line. In the trenches, that's where it matters the most, on the offense and defensive line. Whatever you do this offseason, be a free agency with that money that you're going to have and the draft that you're going to get, they better do a solid job. They say that you go from worst from first. They're not going to be the worst team in the NFL this year, at least in our division, because the Lions are still on there, and plus there's other teams right there too as well. But the matter of fact is that this team is only going to get better from here on out. You trust what they're doing. Ryan Poles looks like he got cojones and big ones too by making the moves that he's made and everything else that comes along with it. I'm with you guys. Everything's all fine and dandy. Everything will be looking good as long as these guys keep continuing building and growing from here on out, from this season to next offseason. The Bears look like they're in the bright spot, and you want to be in this situation in any franchise, no matter what sport it is, knowing that you have some good foundation to build this team.
Could not have said it better myself.
Real quick, Corey says, Komet showed me what I expected. Everyone was ready to give up on him. I still believe in him. So do I, and I've been saying it for a while too. And then I said, I know their D is a little suspect, but Vildor gets picked on every week. Enough is enough.
Vildor is what's going to happen to like Kyler Gordon if he doesn't take that next step next year. Because Kindle Vildor, he has some really good plays. Like I've seen him get an interception. I've seen him get like a pass defense, something, and I'm like, hell yeah, good job, Vildor. And then he just gets just like absolutely burnt by like some like number 2, number 3 wide receiver, and I'm just like, what's going on here, man? Like you're either up or you're down, and there's really no in between for him. So I agree, and I also agree with Cole Kmet. I didn't believe in him as much as like he's going to be a legit threat or like a legit tight end like a Gronkowski was for Tom Brady. But I was like, this guy's a big guy. Like he's athletic. Like, can he do it? Sure. But he hasn't proven anything. But now that he's got 3 touchdowns in the last 2 weeks, absolutely. He's looking a lot better. And I think that Chase Claypool and the Notre Dame win against Clemson absolutely helped him out.
Yep. Yeah. Shout out to Notre Dame. That was a good win for them. We needed that.
Yeah.
We needed that win.
I mean, that doesn't really matter.
Let's go Notre Dame. It matters, man. It matters. Let's go Notre Dame.
It's just one of those moral victory wins for the season where they're only going to play in the Buffalo Wild Wings Bowl or something like that.
Hey, that was against the number 4 ranked Clemson. You got to put some respect on it, man.
They're still going to play
they've beaten 4 ranked teams in this season. In a season
playoffs. Where does it matter most?
Wait. It matters because it's in the season where everybody is falling. Number 4 ranked team fell. Alabama, which was ranked 5th, fell to LSU. You have the number 1 ranked team in Tennessee who also lost. So it matters a big deal because this playoff is not it's not promised to anybody. It's up for the taking, man. Up for the taking. So they need that.
We're talking about Notre Dame. Are they going to make that jump?
Different coach
all the way to the playoffs.
Marcus Freeman, coach Notre Dame. Kelly's not here anymore. Okay, this is a different team, Eric. Put some respect on them.
We're still gonna see them.
Put some respect on my boys over there.
In the middle of December, somewhere in
Irish.
Nebraska,
I love it.
Where they're not gonna be in the college playoff. That's what matters the most.
Go ahead, Rick.
I was just gonna say, you guys got anything else on Bears breakdown before we move on to the Red segment?
Yeah, CP says not the Buffalo, not the B-Dubs Bowl, Eric. That's what, I mean, I'm just saying,
that
man.
Great.
Like we kind
of
do
that.
The Tostitos.
That's a big bowl game that Notre Dame is not gonna. That's not
play
gonna
it,
bro.
The Lay's sour cream and onion bowl. That's what it's.
And they'll play it, and I'll be there. They'll play, and I'll be working.
All right.
Well, they'll play. They'll win. They'll think they're relevant next year, only to once again, not even being
Thank
top
you,
It's a
John.
different team. It's a different team, John. This is not Coach Kelly that we have. a new
It's
coach and
the-
Marcus Freeman.
Bro,
It's
it's been the
different team.
same story for like the last 10, 15 years.
20,
Yeah.
Don't get me
25,
wrong.
30.
They've had the same coach, but you can say the same thing about the Bears. What makes this team
We
any
are saying
different?
the same thing
Come
about the
on,
Bears.
man.
We
You
say
gotta
it
get
every week.
talent. You gotta get the right system in place, and anything can happen. Come on now.
Dude, Jose, I want to agree with you because I've been a Notre Dame fan for years, probably as long as I've been a
sorry.
Bears fan, a little less.
Yeah.
But even I, like the last few years, I've been like, man, this team is different. And then what happens? They just get blown the fuck out by or any Big Ten team. You know what I
Well,
mean? Like it's just
what was
that's
that-
what
what was that
happens, and
one
it
year-
sucks.
That 1 year they were ranked like number 2 and just got completely shit on. I think it was by Ohio
That's
State
until I had to- you know what? I'm not even gonna go there.
Different coach.
I'm not gonna go there.
Different coach.
They just
Different coach. Okay,
they
different,
look
Alright.
look like varsity playing a fucking 6th grade team at the park.
different coach, man. Different coach.
All right. They're playing right now. Let's move on to the C Red segment. We're talking Bulls coming off a loss yesterday. It's the team they're playing right now, the Raptors.
Yep.
Back-to-back games.
Back to back, yeah.
But,
and
but we at
also
home.
they're currently at a 2-game losing streak. They lost against the Celtics. They beat the Nets and the Hornets, though.
They did.
Jose, what are your they're struggling right now, right? They're 5-6, third in the Central. They let up a pretty big halftime lead yesterday at Toronto. What is they're up 13 right now? But I mean, is this team kind of like, are they underperforming in your eyes, or like what are your thoughts?
I don't want to say they're underperforming. I think they're doing what the best they got. I mean, you have already in the beginning of the season, you have guys in and out the lineup. It's not as consistent as you want. I mean, it's not as consistent.
Say
as
his
you
name,
want it.
bro. Say his name.
It's not right.
You know
I
who it is.
will. But it's not as consistent as you want it to be. You see, they were missing someone like Zach LaVine yesterday against the same team they're playing today. And the
Yeah,
Toronto
$200 million
Raptors.
player, yeah.
Right. Yes. But yet he's in
Eric
today,
agrees.
and you see what they can do when he is there, when he does play, and that is the key. He needs to play. I get it. If they're conservative, if they're saving his knee for the bigger picture, great, fine. I'm not gonna scoff at that, right?
Mhm.
But it's not just him that's out. I mean, you have Drummond who was out today. Io's been in and out the lineup. So I get it. I'm not. I told you guys before. I'm not going to sit here and be like, "Oh, they need to be healthy. They need to be healthy."
Yeah.
But if you're asking me what their issue is, that's basically it. They need to be healthy. I hate saying it because I sound repetitive, but it's what it is. Zach LaVine, he has to be consistent and play. He has to play. You see it today. They're a way better team with him.
as he drains a
Oh,
3.
Exactly. Exactly.
Mhm.
So hopefully he gets better and better. That way he's playing consistent, and we'll look better than our record says. You know what I mean? Basically.
And I will say though that even with like the absence of Levine, he almost had that dunk. Oh, that was so close. Io fucked that up. Vooch has stepped it up as well. Like not
love
only
him.
DeRozan, DeMar has been doing DeMar things like he was last season, but Vooch has been shooting from the 3-point line. He's been getting those rebounds. Like he was 20 plus points and rebounds on his birthday that one game. But when it comes to like the competition too, like the Celtics didn't like that loss they had against them earlier in the season.
They got
So
the
they
leg back.
came back. Yeah, and I mean it was still a really close game too against the Celtics. So at least we're able to show when we have Levine resting his knee or playing limited minutes, we're still able to compete with like these top teams.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Exactly. What do you think, John?
I mean, I think we can all point to Levine. Be in and out is an issue, but I think the Bulls are right about where I expected them to be, considering we still don't have a legit point guard, and even more so, the guy that's supposed to make that big leap at the point guard position is also in and out with our $200 million player. It's pretty frustrating, man, because we're not. We can win against Boston by surprise, but we're not going to beat them in this series. It goes to show we're probably going to split it against Toronto. These back-to-back games. Brooklyn. I'm still on Brooklyn will beat us in a 5-game, 7-game series in the playoffs. It seems like Brooklyn plays better without Kyrie.
Apparently,
we're not going to go there. but it's just now the Bulls are right where I thought they'd be, man. You win some, you lose some, and they just, they're missing a superstar. It is what it is in this league. You need that superstar. Levine and DeRozan aren't superstars. If anything, DeRozan's closer to a superstar. At least in the fourth quarter he is. But I mean, the Bulls are what I expected them to be. I still expect playoff berth. Even if you have Levine playing only half the games, Ayo playing only half the games, it's just like, man, it's kind of frustrating because we have this open window where the Bulls are relevant and they can be good, but it's like, again, we need that superstar. We need to make those right pieces, but it's also with the NBA, it's all about money. They got the cap and
Run me my money, John. Run me my money.
What team is going to get rid of their superstar to Chicago and not ask for DeRozan or Levine in the trade?
Well, I think Levine's a little safe from everybody for the Bulls to keep simply because of the contract.
Because of the contract.
That's the only thing. DeMar DeRozan, I mean, he has one more year left in his contract after this year.
2 more. He signed a 4-year deal.
2 more. Well, this year and next year. So yeah. But even with that, what up, CP? What's up, buddy?
CP.
What's going on, man? I see you with the Bulls swag on right now. Thinking that you're a Lakers fan, all of a sudden just switching bandwagon, saying that you're a Bulls fan, bro. Come on, man. What are we doing here? But anyway, let me go to CP.
Every Facebook post this guy makes is the Lakers. Come on, man. Leave Russ alone. Come on,
man.
King.
Man. Come on, man. Don't do that. Don't do that. I grew up watching the Lakers.
I'm with John here. The Bulls are at where I expected them to be. Do I wish they'd be a little bit better? Yes, but I don't wish for them to be a little bit worse either. It just pisses me off when I tell you guys this $200 million thing, whatever, preserve them for the long run. What's the long run? For the next 3, 4, 5 years, or until the end of the season when the playoff comes where they need to turn it up? That's the real $200 million question. Like, what are you preserving him for? Because to me, in all honesty, yes, the Bulls are hurt. The Bulls are mixing up here and on our lineup. We still got to see what Lonzo Ball is, and that's the real question. Where does it put him over the hump? No, but again, based off on last year, we seen Lonzo Ball with the Chicago Bulls team. They were the number 1 team in the East, and they were playing it, and they were playing efficient, and they were playing good defense, and all this before he went down. So again, I think that's what's on AK and Eversley's mind right now, that when Lonzo comes back, this team is going to look different, is going to be different, and maybe the superstar for this year, or at least for this team right now, is not really needed. Do they need one? Hell yeah, 100%. That's what the NBA is all about.
To win a ship, yeah.
But also at the same time, you still have your teams here and there. Your Detroit Pistons is the biggest one that everybody picks out. There was no big superstar on that team, and they still ended up winning the championship, right? Yeah. I'm trying to think everybody else on the fly right now, but whatever. I'm just stating my case that maybe with this team being healthy 100%, maybe they can compete with these Boston Celtics, with these Cleveland Cavaliers. It's when you face against the Kevin Durant's and the Giannis Antetokounmpo, or in the words of Giannis Antetokounmpo. That's where how far are you from with a healthy team? And I think that's what AK and Eversley are just waiting on. What up, CP, man? How are you, bro?
What's good, y'all, man?
Wait, real quick, before CP gives his take, bro, what kind of hat is that you got? What kind of beanie is that?
It was just a regular NBA beanie. What?
No, I was curious what the logo was. That's like, I'm genuinely wondering what kind of beanie is that.
It's up here that we're just worried about right now.
Yeah.
What'd you
he's like, don't worry about it.
As soon as he hops off, he's putting on his Lakers shirt, bro.
You know I am.
He probably got Lakers pajamas, the footies.
Yeah, I got. And once I hop in the shower, that's what I'm putting.
Hey, as long as my girl Aubrey don't got none of that shit. We cool.
Oh, you went for a rude awakening.
That's child abuse.
I do want to ask you though, real quick, Patrick Williams. He has been pretty aggressive in the in the paint, shooting the ball, but it's kind of like, I don't know. What are your thoughts on Patrick Williams right now being aggressive and trying to take that leap that he was supposed to take last year when he got injured?
I think everybody's waiting for me this one.
Look at his face.
Because I'm the Patrick Williams, the bandwagon, right? That's the thing, right? He's been hurt for the last 2 years, and this is look. I'd rather for him to play aggressive than playing like a little, you know. It's
I feel
simple.
like
It's the NBA. You have to play hard every single night. It will come to him though, guys. Let's just relax, guys.
How much longer though, Eric? But we can't keep making excuses. It will come to him. He's been playing for years already.
Hey.
You either have it or you don't. He needs to have it.
No,
He needs to have it.
Been missing literally for
Take it easy.
almost
Come
2
on,
seasons.
man. It doesn't matter.
What do you mean it doesn't matter?
That is all personality, man. If you don't have that personality on the basketball court, you don't have it, brother.
I would get.
You can be hurt, and you can be hurt and still be a dog. Come on now.
And I will hear you.
Nah, they'll make him like Kobe
100%
no more.
If you literally are saying
Right.
this, and he's
Right,
not
bro.
playing as aggressive as he is right now, then you're legit. Then you're legit on what you're saying. But remind you, this guy has to catch up on 2 years of basketball that he has missed out because of injury. The dude is still young. The dude can't even buy alcohol
wanna hear it.
yet.
I don't want to hear it because we've had guys in that uniform like Joakim Noah who was playing injured every single night
And I
with
get
plantar
that.
fasciitis,
I
and that
understand
boy
that.
and that man was in there doing it every
Yes.
single
When did he get
night.
hurt? Did he get hurt in the beginning of his career or
Doesn't
towards the
matter.
tail end of his
Doesn't
Bulls
matter.
career?
It matters. You either
What do
have
you mean
it
it
or you
doesn't
don't.
matter? Oh my
You
God.
either
What do you
have
mean
it
does
or
not
you
matter?
don't. Eric, he needs to show it. I wouldn't be surprised if he's another Wendell Carter Jr., where he doesn't pan out to be here, but then go somewhere else, and then you finally start to see something. That is
Jose,
what he
that's
reminds me
dirty.
of right now.
Jose,
That's what.
that's
I'll give
dirty.
you one more.
That's low.
I'll give you one more. Laurie Marketing is balling out.
Yeah,
Oh.
exactly.
Yeah.
Another
It's
guy.
so
Another
sad.
guy. I wouldn't be surprised.
Jose, Pat Williams is to Eric what Cole Kmet is to him. You know, you gotta, and as soon as he goes off, he's gonna tell you shut the fuck up.
Right.
That's it.
I'm saying Laurie Marketing going to Utah and performing, and Wendell Carter going to Orlando performing.
That's terrible.
Does that
Cheeks.
about our organization or that people just?
That was guard packs. That
Yeah,
was
It was all
guard
guard
packs.
packs, and
That
that
was
was the
guard
coaching
packs.
staff around him.
And Bobby Portis is a world champion.
Bobby Portis.
Man,
like-
fuck all of them, bro. They all bums still. I don't care
It's
what
so-
they're
No,
doing.
Bobby Portis is legit. Bobby Portis is someone I wish you still
Bobby
would
I was
have
kind
had.
of upset that they let him go.
Bums.
Yeah, well, I mean, he did punch.
Exactly. I was just gonna say that you knew he had that dog in him when he punched Nikola Vucevic. Not Vucevic. Nikola.
Mirror.
What's his name?
Mirotic.
Nikola
Mirotic.
Mirotic. Yes, Nikola
Yeah.
Mirotic. There you go.
Nikola Mirotic.
All right, CP. What you got on the Bulls right now? What are you thinking about him?
He said he wants to trade for Russell Westbrook.
We're not doing
All
that.
right, are you gonna stop, guys, bro? We're here right now, and the Bulls supposed to make it back 8 up and down. I'm probably where I expect to be without Lonzo Ball. Now, I'm not mad at the Bulls because Zach is in and out in, and that's the problem I had with this $200 million contract is that I knew it can change. I knew his knee injuries wouldn't just go away overnight just like that. So I was under the impression of giving him like at least 120, 130 in that area. Now we stuck with it, and now we stuck. I love Levine. I love Levine to death.
Yeah,
he a really good dude, but a franchise $200 million alternate player, because like I said, he got young Curry money, and look where we are. We're what 5-5. I mean,
5 and 6.
5 and 6.
5 and 6. Yeah.
Don't
But
get me
bro, that's just how the market is for the NBA, man. We've been over this. He was a free agent at the right time. The Bulls couldn't afford to lose him. Who are they going to replace him with?
Yeah,
If they don't pay him.
I mean, I get that, but like, well, we're just going to be the 6th, 7th seed for the next 5 years. That's what
it was either that or basically almost in a rebuild. Because if you weren't going to pay Zach Levine that money, that this team wasn't going to be a playoff contending team. Let's be honest. So you were going to have to trade pieces like Vucevic away, maybe DeMar DeRozan away. So it's like it was almost like, okay, if you're going down that route, it's a rebuilding route. Would have that been a better route to success? We don't know yet, but at least for now, we got a competitive team that can maybe potentially bring in somebody later on.
I still feel like I honestly still feel like if that Zach Levine contract never has happened, I think Dalen Terry and another player or two wouldn't be here, and we probably would have seen either Rudy Gobert or Donovan Mitchell into this Bulls uniform. I think that would have happened if they didn't sign Zach LaVine.
I don't know about all that.
Donovan Mitchell, man, in Cleveland. Oh my God, he is insane. He is so good. He is just way too good. I would have loved him on this team.
If I would have known we could have traded for him versus re-sign Zach, then yeah, give me him.
How do you not know? Donovan Mitchell is a better player than Zach LaVine offensively. Defensively is where you have the question mark on Donovan Mitchell.
If I would have known that,
we literally had this argument on where Zach LaVine lands in the top 30, and we're giving this. And Donovan Mitchell is up there in the top 15, bro.
Okay, but
stop.
Stop what? I'm literally fucking telling you that I didn't know the Bulls were in, or even an option for Mitchell to come to.
I don't think.
When did we hear reports of that?
It was never going to be an option simply because we re-signed Zach LaVine. I'm just saying if Zach LaVine never re-signed with the Chicago Bulls, Dalen Terry would have not been a Chicago Bull, and probably another player wouldn't be here either, and we would probably went in for Donovan Mitchell.
Right.
That's all I just said.
New York. It was either New York or Cleveland. I guess Chicago was never one of those teams.
Exactly. Chicago was never on the list.
Again, I said if we never re-signed Zach LaVine to that contract, Donovan Mitchell we would have been in the play for Donovan Mitchell. Well, but since we signed Zach LaVine, that play was never in the books in the first place.
Bro, even before we re-signed Zach, Rudy Gobert was being talked about. They would have said, "Oh, hey, we also got
that's
Mitchell.
a whole different conversation because that's a whole different other position."
But it's the player on the same team.
There's a metric behind all this, boys. It is because the only reason why is what were we talking about all last year? Vucevic probably isn't that guy. He only shows on one side, doesn't show on the other. Blah blah blah. This and that. Rudy Gobert's name popped up into this conversation simply because of the defensive presence that the Bulls kind of needed for this team to be a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only reason why Rudy Gobert's name came up with the Chicago Bulls. That's it. I'm just telling you another option that would happen if the Bulls never re-signed Zach LaVine. That the Bulls would have probably been in play for Donovan Mitchell. That's it. I don't know why you guys making such a big stink about it. I literally just covered my angles what I was about to say.
Again, bro.
He dodged the bullet with that Gobert thing because Minnesota right now.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
And what were we just saying, right? Like we're talking about Lauri Markkanen, we're talking about Bobby Portis, we're talking about Wendell Carter Jr., right? Going to other teams and being stars. Like if we let LaVine walk, or if we let LaVine, play for another team and he becomes like a star, are we saying the same thing in a couple of years? Because over the last couple of years, other than like maybe the beginning of this season, late last season, Lauri Markkanen wasn't that great. Yeah, he was kind of dog shit, right? Like we were just like, were we going to be patient with that? Like, Jose's over here saying that, if you got it, you got it. And Lauri Markkanen showed definitely flashes of it, but we were just like all sick and tired of him because we're like, he's not even like the guy right now. And, obviously I think that the addition of Donovan Mitchell to the Cavs, or I'm sorry, Markkanen is on the Cavs, right?
Markkanen's with Utah.
Oh, he's with Utah. Oh, that's why they traded. They swapped him.
They swapped him for Donovan Mitchell.
I mean, and look at Utah. That's their only option, and he's flourishing, right? So I don't know. Like, I think the biggest thing to take away from the Zach LaVine signing was Chicago was ready to pay money to a superstar to try to attract other people, and hopefully, like a Dalen Terry or Patrick Williams would have worked out. I mean, those are your draft picks. Those are your 2 number ones right there, right? So that's what you're hoping for. Ayo starting because of an injury, but he's starting. Has he played up to what me especially was expecting? No, but Patrick Williams is being more aggressive, so I like that out of him. I have to agree, like seeing him being more aggressive, taking 3-pointers and the last couple of minutes of the game, maybe not what he should be doing, but I do like the aggressiveness from him.
That's all you ask for a guy who hasn't played in 2 seasons, by the way, still playing aggressive.
All right, y'all better get Ben Simmons the same slack.
No, we're not going there. We're not going there.
Mental health is more important.
We're not going there.
I fell off of that train a long time ago.
Absolutely.
I would hope. I would hope.
I thought so too. I liked what I saw in Ben Simmons, and I thought it's just, no.
So we just not going to appreciate men's mental health when it pertains to a basketball player?
Man.
Well, yes, but John, Ben Simmons has
Are we not
even
woke enough
before
on Star 6 Media to appreciate
even
men's
before
mental
all
health?
that, Ben
Athletes'
Simmons was
mental health?
absolute dog shit, dude. Like dog shit.
I would prefer
like-
Markel Fultz, by the way.
I mean,
You're capping, bro.
he gonna use mental health as his crutch though. Like, how long is he gonna? Like,
Yeah.
Bro,
he got
Look.
that. His mental health. Is,
bro, you don't know what he's been through?
Look. Look, I'm all for men's mental health, but if that's what it really is, then go
No, you're
take
not.
go take
No,
your
you're not,
take your
bro.
break. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be playing.
He
right
did take his break. And
honestly.
everybody dragged him for it. But yet, you know, I'm not even gonna go there.
yeah,
It's cool. Next segment, I'm not gonna go there.
Are
In
we-
other sports,
Huh?
people of different genders get to just walk off the court, do a press conference that their mental health is acting up, and they get excused. But we're not gonna go there. We're not gonna go there.
John's turning some stones right now.
I'm about to go find Kyrie Irving's tweet.
Oh my god. Anyways, Rick, what were you gonna say, bro?
So Dalen Terry, a bit more of an explosive guy coming out of college, something that I feel like the Bulls need, right? A little more explosiveness instead of, kind of just like relaxing and then getting the playoff. They need that explosive, like off the ball, like just energy. He's had very limited time, and he's kind of like similar to Io last year, where they're trying to get.
Hey, we just lost him.
Damn.
Right before, and I think I kind of know where he was going, kind of similar where Ayo DeSumo's coming in, and he's getting some slack. He got some playing time yesterday, and I think I just heard him pop in right now. Is that you, Rick?
There you
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. Sorry. But yeah, Dalen Terry in the limited amount of time. Jose, you're the basketball guy. You CP. I mean, all of us are, right? We all love the Bulls.
Bro, don't fill up Jose's head, dude. He's not that guy. He's not that guy.
Do you
Please.
like
He's
what
not
you've
that guy.
seen in the
Just
limited
stop,
time?
just
though, that he's
stop.
been on the
Tony
court?
basketball, baby. Let them know, Rick. Tony basketball.
my
Put some
God.
respect.
I'm sorry.
Rick's
Hold on.
name.
Hey, is Quincy on the line? Is Quincy here?
What are you talking about? I haven't even. I forgot about him. That's my boy. I forgot about him.
Go return.
We gotta check up on Quincy. I haven't seen Quincy in a while. But anyways, what was the question?
You're not that guy, pal.
What have you like? Do you like what you've seen of Dalen Terry so far? I mean, he's got
Yeah.
limited touches.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, you're gonna get that kind of that kind of a playing style or that kind of a minute run with a guy who wasn't drafted within the first 7 picks, right? Because if you're drafted within the first 5, 7, maybe even first 10 picks, you're gonna start right away and you're gonna be that difference maker or supposed difference maker for the organization. After that, anything beyond 10 and beyond, it's kind of like, okay, you may or may not get some playing time depending on the team that you're drafted in. And that's where Dalen Terry is at. He's in the team where he got drafted, where he has to play behind Zach LaVine, Alex Caruso, DeMar DeRozan, and all these other guys are ahead of him in the pecking order. Does he once he proves himself that he can get it and he gets up to NBA speed? Yes, we're going to see a little bit more Dalen Terry throughout the NBA season. But as of right now, I mean, what else can you ask for the kid other than just to try hard, play hard, and make smart basketball decisions?
Yeah. No, I agree. I just want to know, like, you guys seen anything, flashes or anything, or what? Like, if you guys have been impressed with them so far.
I definitely have. I've seen some flashes from him. Like the jump shot looks good. I mean, he's definitely got some athleticism. I think he can become like a great defensive guy, which is something. When the last time the Bulls had a defensive guard like that? I mean, we got to go back to what?
Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy Butler.
Yeah,
G
Butler.
boys. Make everyone look like a bitch.
Yeah, for real. And he's still killing her in Miami.
Yeah, I think they.
Miami fell off, but yeah.
If he works hard enough, if Terry works hard enough, I think he could become that guy if they let him. But it's gonna be hard to get. Like he's behind a lot of guards right now in the rotation.
Yeah.
Probably won't see time till the contract is up.
And I don't know about y'all, but like just waiting on Lonzo, seeing what happened last season, 4 to 6 weeks, all that shit. Like
I'm losing hope, man.
Yeah, like you can't bank on this guy anymore. I don't think you can bank on Lonzo anymore. What was his contract? Was this a 2 or 3 year contract?
4 years.
4
years.
fuck.
4 years.
Oh,
So we got
fuck.
3 more years.
4 years.
3 more years.
Y'all is a bust over here.
Damn. I thought
Damn. Yeah,
I don't know about being a bust. Now remember when he plays. He's
Yeah.
a good player.
But
He
if
plays
you're
good
injured,
defense.
not
He's a great ball
playing,
handler. His basketball IQ is up there. He gives his players a position to make the shot. Again, I know I'm just just like a broken record over here. But when he was playing, the Bulls were the number one team in the East. What else can we say? That's when he was
Yeah.
healthy here. You
Yeah.
can't really say he's a bust after just 1 year of his contract and blame an injury that the Bulls may or may not messed up on this one. Okay,
Mhm.
it ended up being something that was 6 to 8 weeks. That so far it's been over a year. I don't know what the hell's
'cause
going
he
on.
got
I don't know if it's because of
re-injured while
Lonzo and his
rehabbing.
injury. I don't know if because the Bulls messed it up. I don't know if his doctors messed it up. We don't know. But when we seen Lonzo Ball with this Bulls team, it's a team that looks completely different offensively and defensively.
Yeah.
And yet he's only 25.
For
So
once, I agree with Eric.
it's one of
I
those
agree.
situations like pump the brakes real quick. Let's just pump the brakes on him real quick. Wait for him how he comes back. Let him play out one more year. Let's see if he has another injury-free end of the season, and let's see how the Bulls look. Towards the end when he comes back. Let's just relax on the bus situation.
I think it's
He's
unfair
a
to
bust.
label injury-ridden guys anyway. Like, I think
Yeah.
we got to give a chance to work it.
Cap on this podcast, bro.
All
right, man, all I'm saying
This is
is-
coming from a guy who called Justin Fields a bust a couple weeks ago.
Oh!
Who called him a bust? I
Chill.
never called
You
Justin
did.
Fields a bust. You better pull up receipts, my guy.
Oh
There's
no!
between the three of us that were talking on the phone while we drafted him, I was one of the two that was happy about the pick.
Yeah,
You, my
and
guy,
then
were.
a couple weeks
all of a
ago
sudden-
on no podcast,
all
you
of
said
a
that Justin
sudden-
Fields looking like a
All of a
bust.
sudden, you come in this year talking about, yeah, that's my quarterback. I love that guy. Blah blah blah. Hell no, shut the fuck up. What was that energy we
No.
drafted? I
This is
never
coming
called
from the
Fields
guy
a
who
bust,
called
bro.
Justin Fields a bust a couple weeks ago.
Pull up receipts, my guy, because
It's
I
called
told you.
previous show.
I called
I'll
you guys
gladly
out.
pull it up,
I called you guys out. I said I was the first one to buy a Justin Fields jersey between all of us.
and that's fine. I don't buy Bears jersey, so I mean, I was already on
Yeah.
lost cause for that one.
Nah,
Yeah.
bro.
Damn, why
No.
not?
I just have a thing for players not sticking around that long.
But-
the
but-
only
but
player
he
I was
buys
going to
Arsenal
get is a
jerseys.
Khalil Mack jersey.
Make it make sense.
My
I'm
wife
just not a
got
jersey
me.
guy. At
My
least when it
wife
comes
got
to
me a Mac jersey, and I was like, "Oh, he's gonna stay here for a while." The next year, he got traded. I was like, "Fuck!"
Exactly.
Hey,
That's
it's a
the
nice
only
jersey
reason
though.
why.
But you got that 100-year anniversary jersey, and that's like the
Yeah.
best one to get. That was so
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, she definitely she went all out, and then she became a Jets fan. So I got fucked.
Well,
So-
I guess it worked out for her.
Yeah, I know, right?
That's
I feel your pain, man. I feel your pain.
she's
It's
on.
all right.
She's rooting for a winning
I got
team.
Jose that same Khalil Mack jersey for Christmas one year, and now he's gone. So
I still have it. Still rock it.
stains and
Oh,
all.
we know.
Yeah, stains and all.
All right.
Yeah. It's
Well,
white, man.
I
It's hard to
mean, to kind of wrap up the C-Red segment, the Bulls are leading the Raptors right now by 20. There's about 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter, so it's looking good. But let's wrap it up here. Let's wrap up Big League Chicago with 4 stars of the week. CP, I don't know if you're new to this, but we usually pick, coach, player, fan base, team the last week who has really impressed us, at least in Chicago sports. Who wants to go first for 4 stars of the week?
I'll go first because I'm going to get the easy one out the way. So that way nobody else picks him.
Justin Fields.
Justin
Yeah.
Fields has to be the only star of the week. And
That's
I wanted to go first because I wanted to give him his credit because I've been one of his biggest criticizers on this show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I at least want to go ahead
That's
and
good.
as a
That's
man, apologize and give my star to Justin Fields. We finally have a quarterback, boys. It still feels so good to say that. That's
It
that's
does.
who my star goes to.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you. There's 5 of us on here, so I'll go with Jose's pick as well. Justin Fields breaking the record, 178 rushing yards and a touchdown, 61-yard touchdown run. He killed it against the Dolphins. Obviously the refs fucked us there at the end, and I'm never gonna not say that in this game. So,
Right.
but Justin Fields did really well. 3 touchdown passes, 106 QBR rating or something at the end of the game. So, he killed it. Star number 2. Who wants to go next?
Go
I'll
ahead,
go,
John.
man. We can all agree Fields is the man this week. Probably this month, just off of that performance alone. But Eric is gonna agree with me on here. I'm gonna go with his boy Komet. He finally
There we
showed
go.
up. He's finally present in the red zone. Not
Yep.
one, but two touchdowns. He did more than just go out there and block. Shout out to him. He legit looked like wide receiver 3 with Claypool out there. But he's coming into the season was a wide receiver 2. But yeah, man, I'm hoping in the future I can give my stars to Claypool because he definitely impacted the game this week. But for today, give credit's due. Kamesh showed up.
CP, you want to go next?
Yeah, can we get some stars to the O line? Like,
Yeah. Give it. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Nah, bro. Go ahead, bro. Give your stars to the O line.
we leading the league in rushing. Like,
Yeah.
if the O line was that bad, we wouldn't be doing that. So in the last few weeks, like, you're starting to see some hope there. Like, you might be able to build on top of this line next year. Obviously, you got the draft picks and all the cap space. I like what I'm seeing from this line, and Fields. He showed you he's your quarterback.
Yep.
But you've got to get him credit too because we've been so critical of him lately, and they stepped it up.
Yep.
Yeah, I will say that the O-line does deserve some credit, especially with all the flip-flopping going on throughout the season. It looks like they're finally finding some combinations that are working, and the fact that we're getting almost 200 yards per game rushing on the ground is just amazing for them. So, Eric, finish us off. 4 stars of the week.
4 stars of the week. I am going out of the box with this one. Okay.
Of course you are.
I am going out of the box with this one. I want to give a huge shout out to the South Suburban College girls soccer team who won the regional championship, and we competing in the state and competing for states this upcoming week. I think it's in Texas, I believe it was. I'm about to look.
Your old alma mater.
But I am proud of my alma mater right there. I know the feeling. We lost the final to go into states in penalty shootouts when I was there 10 years ago. But big shout out to them, to the girls on there. Shout out to the coaching staff, my coach Tony, Coach Aaron, my boy right there, Coach Lisa too as well, part of the assistant staff too as well. Shout out to the girls. I wish them good luck. I know it's the first time in the girls soccer program that they're going to to compete for state, and also I think this is the 3rd time in South Suburban history that the soccer program is going there competing. So shout out to them, congratulations to them. I give a round of applause. Good luck, girls. And
shout out to the Ravens.
Hopefully we'll go.
Remember my money.
Let's go.
Me too.
All right, boys. Any last thoughts on this
Back to
upcoming
back,
week
baby.
in sports or anything else?
Back to back. Call me Drake.
Eric, you still feel that way about DeMar DeRozan? You said he take a step back.
Well,
Ooh, that's right.
there's been times, this time, you know what? It's still too early. I'm gonna give it that one. Let's just wait. I mean, he's been looking great. I appreciate that. I mean, and it's good that he's pulling out, sort of similar to what he did last year. This only helps the Bulls. I've said he might take a step back. Look at the beginning he did. He's starting to find his rhythm. This only is good for the Bulls. I'm happy with how he's performing, guys. That's all.
That was almost as bad as Max's Tom Brady falling off a cliff take.
Oh, the cliff.
Oof. Eric didn't like that one.
Max is still my boy.
Wait, what happened? What I missed? I'm lost. What?
So Max, I said your take about DeRozan was almost as bad as Max saying Tom Brady's going to fall off a cliff a couple years back.
And the Iguodala take.
The Iguodala, bro. I love how serious he was talking about if you got the laser beam pointed at. That shit was hilarious, dude. I'll never get over. Max is that dude. They should have never took him out first take, bro. They're dirty for that.
Got the mark pointing at you. You better hit the.
Man.
Yeah, true.
He chose Iguodala over Curry. That was.
I love Max.
That man's insane.
I listen to him in the mornings now. I love him.
All right, but thanks everybody for tuning in to Big League Chicago. Great episode today. We had CP on. You can find us on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, Facebook, all at Star 6 Media. Follow our live streams, listen to our podcast, follow all of our other podcasts. Jack said it earlier, Slot Shot Hockey podcast coming up soon. We got EAFP.
Sick,
yeah, it looked
Snap.
really, really good. We got EAFP. We got Sports Trip Live. We've got JCA Sports. We got Only Football. We got 3 Up, 3 Down. And, of course, Big League Chicago, what you're watching right now. Thanks for joining us, guys. And, we'll see you guys next week.
I feel like Mike Jordan. Give me the rock and I'm scoring. Hey, came from the bottom, that's foreign. I swear that I'm up for the sun in the morning. Yeah, they know that we ain't the same. 402, we rap the game. I told them this ain't a game.